welcome to their swearing in promotional ceremony here at Beloit PD. It's a big day for us. We're pretty excited about it. Before we get started, please stand for the honor guard and posting of the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. So again, I'd like to thank everyone for their attendance. Especially I'd like to thank, we have our Police and Fire Commission President Marty Dench in the audience. Councilman Dave Lupke is here. Did I miss any other elected people? I don't think so. And really most importantly, the family and friends of all of the new officers that we're swearing in and the sergeants that we're promoting today. This is a pretty big, auspicious event. We haven't had this many officers sworn in a long time. And we are at the midst of a really big cultural shift here at the Beloit Police Department. We are taking policing into what I would say is a new direction, modern day policing tactics, concentrating on community policing, utilizing a neighborhood-based, problem-oriented, intelligence-led approach to reducing crime, fear, and disorder in the city of Beloit, which is a lot of things you may not understand, but neighborhood-based centers on the fact that where we live in each one of our neighborhoods is our home, and that each neighborhood has its own identity. And so that we have to work with those people in those communities, in those neighborhoods to address their issues. We have to be problem-oriented, meaning that we allow officers to use their heads, problem solve with the community to actually affect crime, fear, and disorder in each of the neighborhoods. And then as each of the neighborhoods come together, the community at large. And we have to be intelligence-led, which means two things. Data and statistics are one phase of intelligence, but that's not the only phase. The other piece of intelligence is the information that we get from the community, the businesses, the people living in the neighborhoods, and the cops on the street, and we put that formula all together to have an effect on crime, fear, and disorder. And that's the direction that we're going. So these officers joining us today are part of the next generation. Right, the 21st century generation of law enforcement officer. We're pretty excited about bringing them on board. And as an organization, our job at the top is to make sure that we eliminate roadblocks and we create an environment that they can do that which we want them to do, engage with the community and be proactive. And so that's what we're doing at the organizational level. And we're making a number of changes in how we operate and within our policies and procedures to allow that to occur at the line level. So today, as we add Brandon, Devin, Joshua, and Nicholas to our ranks, and a couple things I want all of you to remember as you progress. You're all pretty excited today, right? Pumped, nervously excited, anxious, because this is a big day. You're becoming a law enforcement officer, which is really the noblest profession that there is. It's a big deal, and it should be a big deal, and it should be meaningful to you. And so you should feel this excited every day you come to work, which will be hard because you'll be working second or third shift. But you have to feel this excited and this committed, because that indicates that what you are doing is in your heart, right? Because we don't join this profession to get rich. If anyone did, you made an error, okay? All right, it is to serve each other, to serve the public, okay? That's our duty and our charge, and so you have to be excited to do that every day. We're not going to do a good job. And it's easy over time to lose that feeling and to go from skepticism, which is good, being skeptical and asking questions, to cynicism, which is bad, because that destroys us as an individual and as an organization and a profession. If we're all become the 30-year-old cynics that don't like anyone, we're not serving the public very well, and we're not serving ourselves, and our organization starts to diminish. Okay, so remember this feeling, okay? Remember that everything you do is significant. There isn't anything you do that is insignificant. Every contact you have with each other, with the public, from a phone call to a traffic stop to an investigation, is an opportunity to garner positive public trust, support, and cooperation, which we must have if we are going to be successful doing what we do. The law is based on the fact that, the idea rather, that most people follow the law. If they didn't, we're out of luck because we're outnumbered, right? So we need to concentrate on that small facet of society that doesn't normally follow the law and address our attention to that, okay? So, again, keep that in mind as we progress here. Never take your position for granted. Again, you should have that same level of excitement and commitment for what you're doing every day. Secondly, remember the importance of your family and your social networks. Okay? We see a lot of bad things. We take reasonable risks to protect the public. And sometimes there's some pretty scary days out there, or some things that we've witnessed that are hard, okay, that we have to, manage through to serve and do what we need to do. But don't forget about the support of your peers and the support of your family in helping you get through those issues when you're done with your shift and you're at home. Don't isolate yourself. It's easy to do that. I've seen officers over the years get isolated because the traditional policing philosophy was, we're the police. We're tougher than all of you. I don't need to talk to anyone. I can handle it. And then the next thing you know, I'm developing a problem. Alcoholism, drug abuse, etc., psychological depression. And so the mental health of our officers is very important to us. And I want you to remember, as you progress in your career, that you need to keep the family and your social networks included in your life. So that, we're working on establishing a peer network here at Beloit PD as well, so you've got people to talk to when you're having a bad day. Okay? In terms of how you police, it's important to remember your role as a guardian. And Plato's famous quote, "In a republic that honors the core of democracy, the greatest amount of power is given to those called guardians. Only those with the most impeccable character are chosen to bear the responsibility of protecting the democracy." That's your charge. That's your mission. Okay? We are the guardians for our community. Okay? We protect each other. We protect our community with a guardian mindset. Okay? Sir Robert Peel, the first commissioner of the London Metropolitan Police, commonly known as the father of modern-day law enforcement, had 9 basic principles, Peelian principles, that he established way back in 1700s rather, okay, that guided law enforcement and really community policing. So there's 9 principles, but the 7th one is what I want you to remember today. It's easily forgotten over time. And the 7th principle is that police at all times should maintain a relationship with the public that gives reality to the historic tradition that the police are the public and the public are the police. The police being only members of the public who are paid to give full-time attention to duties which are incumbent upon every citizen in the interest of community welfare and existence. So in a nutshell, we're intrinsically connected to the community. If we don't view ourselves as part of the community, we're missing the equation. And if we don't work with the community to solve these problems, we're not going to be as successful as we can be. We need each other. We need the community to be actively involved at their level, and we need to be supporting those efforts at our level. Lastly, don't ever stop learning. Okay, this is a continual learning environment. You should not be afraid to make mistakes. And we know that things go awry. Things get a little edgy every once in a while. But as long as you're doing the right things for the right reasons, you don't have to worry about being, knocked down or ridiculed. We understand that mistakes get made. Put your best foot forward. Make your best decisions that you can. And the three biggest things you need to be thinking about is your problem solving, decision making, and judgment. Those are the three key components that you have to be a successful law enforcement officer. And in doing the right things for the right reasons and inputting those three key philosophies, you're going to be in good shape. And the department can stand behind you, and if it's a training issue, we provide you training. But we want you to be successful. If you're successful, the organization is successful, and the community is successful, and Beloit continues to prosper. So it's important. Lastly, don't forget to develop yourself. And we'll offer you training opportunities, but we're here to develop you as part of our team and as part of service to the community. So as we continue to enhance leadership, strengthen community relations, and transition into modern-day policing, we want to make sure that you take advantage of development opportunities as well and grow with the organization. Because we're really heading in a new direction with a new philosophy, and I think it's really an exciting time for you to be joining our team. And we're happy to have you aboard. I look forward to your future success and congratulate you ahead of time for what's to come. And now I'd like to introduce our city manager for her comments, Lori Curtis Luther.
Good morning, everyone. It is excellent to see the forum filled on such a special occasion. Having 4 new officers coming on board and promoting 2 sergeants. What I can tell the new officers is that entering into the public safety arena, there is a unique camaraderie and a unique sense of family within that workplace. But in addition to being a representative of the Beloit Police Department with every interaction that you have each day, you're also representing in a larger fashion, if you will, the city as a whole. And there are many people who may only have an interaction with a police officer, and that is the view that they will have of the city of Beloit, perhaps for years to come. And while you don't always see individuals at their best in your line of work, that's not all that you see. And certainly the public is watching our officers and our city employees all the time, every day. As you heard, everything you do matters. And so represent yourself, the department, and the city as a whole with pride, because we are thrilled to have you as part of our team. And welcome. We're glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to proceed now with the oath of officer swearing with our city clerk, Lori Stadler. Are we going alphabetical? Okay, so Mr. Baroker, right? Joshua? it simple. Jones, now Mr. Smith. I don't know how that happened, but
Really appreciate it.
yeah, make it easy on the clerk.
You know the drill. So if you raise your right hand. I, Nicholas Smith,
I, Nicholas Smith,
having been appointed as a police officer
having been appointed as a police officer
in the city of Beloit,
City of Beloit,
County of Brock,
County of Brock,
hereby swear or affirm
hereby swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of
and
Wisconsin,
will faithfully and impartially discharge
and will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of this office
the duties of this
to the
office
best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, sir. Okay, so you probably noticed we've got 3 new officers here in suit and tie, and then Nicholas in uniform. So here's the difference, because we lead up to the badge pinning part of the ceremony. We always ask the officer, you know, who do you want to have pin your badge on you, etc. So as part of our kind of cultural shift in what we're doing, we are actually sponsoring and sending through Devin, Brandon, and Joshua through the Black Hawk Tech Recruit Academy. Prior to this, the hiring scheme didn't really offer that opportunity. But because we really want to make sure that we have people of the best caliber and with the best character joining our ranks, it's worth the investment to me to send them through the academy, because they went through our vetting process, and these are top-tier gentlemen that are going to really join our ranks and add a lot to the community service. So when they graduate from their 720 hours at the academy, which will be really fun, I'm sure, there'll be a formal badge pinning for them. It may be right at their graduation, or we'll have another formal badge pinning here at the department for them. But until such time as they graduate, they don't actually get that badge, because the badge has a lot of meaning behind it. It is not just a token that we give an officer along with the gun and tell them to go out and do police work. Okay, and so the meaning of the badge is pretty important, and a lot of people probably don't give it much thought. But the badge, or shield as it's commonly referred to, really goes back in time all the way to the Romans. And the Romans were the guardians of their society. And they carried shields. They were much larger. They carried them in their left hand. There were no lefties in the Roman era, apparently. But they carried it in their left hand, and that shield protected them. And on up through history with the knights, etc., they have put the breasts on their shield, telling people what family they were from, or what country they represented, or what land they represented. And through time, the idea of that shield as the protector grew into the police shield, which is now much smaller. It's placed on our left side. It's placed over our heart to both protect, but also to remind us that it is in our heart from which we have to have the ideal of service. Okay? So it's just not something that we wear. It is the symbol of public trust. Okay? You've seen stories over the years, cops gone bad, tarnish the badge, okay? It represents all that is good about what we do. It represents a larger profession. And if you look at our badge, it has the city of Beloit. As Lori said, we represent not just ourselves, we represent the city of Beloit. There's a state seal on there. We represent the state of Wisconsin. And we represent law enforcement as a profession. All of us do. So it's very important that we remember that when we put the badge on, that it's not only important in terms of what it means to us, but it also means to the public that that is the symbol of public trust, which we are sworn to uphold. If you've ever looked at a badge, and many of you probably have not, most of them have an eagle at the top. So why is there an eagle at the top of our badge? It wasn't put there just because. There's actually meaning behind that as well. The eagle is a symbol of our country, which is a good reason, but there's a lot more about eagles that relate to what we do as public servants than you might be aware of. Okay, eagles nurture their young. Okay, here at the police department, we work to grow the careers of our personnel. Okay, we nurture them, mentor, guide, provide development opportunities. Eagles have very strong talons and beaks. When they need to be strong, they have that ability. They have very excellent vision. They can discern from great distances things that are going on. It's a good quality to have as a law enforcement officer. And the big thing is when there's a storm brewing and all the other animals and birds are flying away from the storm, eagles fly towards the storm. They set their wings and they go towards the storm. They rise above, and when the storm goes through, they come back down and they resettle, they rebuild. So in a sense, they are bringing chaos, they are restoring a sense of calm to the chaos of the storm, which very often is the position that we find ourselves in. We're called to a lot of different things that we don't fully understand when the radio call comes over. We know it's a problem. We're going towards the problem, and we're going to resolve it and bring calm to that chaos and rebuild that neighborhood and that community. So there's a lot about the eagle that really symbolizes what we do, and that's why it's on the top of the badge. So I'm going to have Nicholas come down then for his badge pinning, and he is elected to have his mother Julie pin his badge on him. Appreciate that. And while we're talking about the family component, I guess before I forget, I want to mention that tonight at 6 o'clock, Captain Mullen's wife, Ellen, is putting together, I think is a really great program for our families. So for all of our families, for Beloit PD members are welcome to attend this at 6 o'clock in the briefing room. She's going to talk about expectations, what it's like to live with a law enforcement officer. How long have you been married, Dan? This is a trick question. How long have you been married?
19 years.
19 years, okay. So she's got 19 years of experience to help kind of the new families along, and we're looking at growing that program as well as a support network in our department. So that'll be 6 o'clock tonight. Okay, so the other thing I forgot to mention about eagles is that they train their young, okay? So when they take them out to fly, they put them on their backs, fly around, and they dump them off. And then they go, and if they don't fly, they swoop back underneath and they grab them, okay? Until such time as they can fly on their own. And they reward with food. That's why cops like donuts. But you're not going to get donuts, probably. You're the bagel generation, right? Okay. But the part of the thing of it is that they're taking care and making sure that you get to the level that you can fly on your own, and then we kind of set you out there. So I'm going to introduce Nicholas to his first police training officer, Dave Elrod. Come on down, Dave. Dave's one of our police training officers, a number of years on the job, and a really good trainer, as are all of our personnel. And he's going to be the one dumping Nicholas off at some unknown height and getting him to fly. So, and as Nicholas progresses, he'll work with some other PTOs, but Dave will be the first one, and I can remember my first, we used to call them FTOs, and all of the funny stories that went along with that. But looking back all of those years, this is it's a good memory, so thanks, David, for your service. Appreciate it. And so what we're going to do now is, you guys can have a seat, thank you very much. That completes kind of the new officer portion of the ceremony. We'll do a big thing at the end here, but we have also 2 officers being promoted to sergeant today. So I want to move into the promotional part of the ceremony. And again, just as with the officers, When we promote someone within the organization, we are looking to promote the people we feel are best in line with our values, with our vision and mission, our idea of service as guardians, people that are committed to developing others, not just their own personal gain. And the two officers today that we're promoting, Richard Lefebvre and Christian Dalton, are those two types of individuals. They have committed themselves to being the best that they can be. They have trained and assisted others. They have formed teams within their work group that have been very successful. And that team building is what we need across the entire organization for all of us to be at our best. Getting promoted is not like a good thing in terms of you get a lot of freebies and personal gain. It is additional responsibility. It's additional expectations. Because now you are not just responsible for yourself, you're responsible for everyone else under you in your work group, that's not in your work group. And so their actions have to be recognized and addressed by you, both in terms of developing them, but also in terms of holding them accountable when they run askant of our vision, mission, and values. And you have to be able to artfully bring them back into the fold, and if they don't, you have to be able to hold them accountable. That's not always an easy job, and that's not always something that a lot of people like to do. It's making decisions about other people is not necessarily a normal thought process. And much like everything else we do in law enforcement, it's an additional responsibility. So we don't take it lightly, and the expectations are that they reach the next benchmark and that their personnel reach that same benchmark. So we'll call down for the oath of office, and Christian Dalton, going alphabetically, of course. And Christian spent a number of years with the State Patrol before he joined the Beloit Police Department, so he brings with him kind of a interesting, unique perspective. He's done a tremendous job on his second shift working with his team and developing a real good working relationship with the other officers and with the community, and really get a lot of positive community feedback on his work. And so I'm really excited to promote him. I think he's going to do great things and kind of continue to build our team. I'm sorry.
You know the drill. I, Christian Dalton,
I, Christian Dalton,
having been appointed as a police sergeant
having been appointed as a police
in
sergeant
the city of Beloit,
in the city of Beloit,
county of Brockton,
county of Rye,
hereby swear or affirm
hereby swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the state of
and
Wisconsin,
will faithfully and impartially discharge
and will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of this office
the duties of this
to
office
the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Sign.
Okay, stand by. Christian is elected to have his wife Cindy pin his badge on, so we'll bring her down for that. You've practiced this before, right, Cindy? Okay, good. So we won't have any blood. That's good. All right. Okay, Mr. Lefebvre. Rich has got a number of years in law enforcement, 10 years with Beloit PD. He's also a trainer at Black Hawk Tech. He's instructor on a department in a number of specialty areas and has really done a lot to train up the cops that we have now, and I think he'll be doing a lot to train the cops that we have going forward, and he understands the mission, and I really appreciate his dedication to everything he does, because it takes a lot more time and commitment when you're training people. No one can make you train someone, right? That's an additional responsibility, and we're glad to put him in a promotional position that he can do that now at a broader scale. So thanks, Richard.
Please raise your right hand. I, Richard Lefebvre,
I, Richard Lefebvre,
having been appointed as a police sergeant
having been
Getting this one on. No promises. Blood. Let's see here.
Your blood or mine? Just Velcro it.
Okay, sir, there you go. Very good. Congratulations. Okay, don't go far. Okay, so all of the new appointees and both sergeants can come down here. There's, in addition to that oath that Lori gives, there is a code of ethics in law enforcement that we are sworn to uphold as well. So let's see how we can kind of zing everybody in there. That's good. Okay, so I will administer the law enforcement code of ethics. At the end, we'll get your affirmation. This isn't a lot of brain work on this. Okay? But the important part of this is pay attention to the words in this code of ethics, because it's the expectation that everyone upholds this and keeps it in the back of their minds as they're doing their work day to day, okay? So, right hand up. As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all men to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life, I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided in me in my official capacity will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duty. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, and I accept it as a public trust to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself to my chosen profession, law enforcement. Gentlemen, do you so affirm?
I do.
Okay, thank you, and congratulations. This is our new group here. Okay, next item on the agenda, let's see. We will conclude the ceremony part. We will move out to the forum hallway. We will do photos with the new appointees and the new promotees. We'll get the one-on-ones of command staff and then family photos. So whatever family photos you want to get with your particular loved one here, we'll get those in and get those to you. There's a tour of the police facility then for the new folks here. Anyone else that's interested? Refreshments are still over here, and then this evening at 6 p.m. is at the family, wives, spouse, significant other type of meeting. So I would encourage everyone to attend that. So thank you very much for your attendance and your continued support of these fine new officers and sergeants that have joined the Lake Police family. Thanks very much, everyone.